Good morning and welcome to our daily show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We talk about personal financial development, and today we're going to talk about, are you on track to reach your life goals? Do you have any life goals? Well, we're going to talk about it. How to get some life goals, how to know if you're on track, and I'll tell you in just a minute what kind of how this topic came up. As you're coming in, please let us know where you're tuning in from. Like, comment, and share. If you have some life goals, put them in the comments. Let us know. If you don't already know who we are, we're Martin and Chelsea Matthews. We are married. We're in business together. We have a combined 22 years experience in the financial industry. We're founders of M Wealth Group, a financial consulting and investment agency. And we're also authors of this book, Let's Fight About Money, helping couples communicate about money, handle conflict, and build an unbreakable financial house. And really, that's our mission, to help you build an unbreakable financial house so you can handle anything that comes your way financially and create the life you truly want to live, make the impact that you truly want to make. And so today we're talking about, are you on track to reach your life goals?
Is that muted? Okay.
Yes. And really, this topic came up because it's about to be my birthday month. And it's also about to be Rain's birthday month at the end of the month. So shout out to the Virgos. I know it's Leo season still, but we're getting ready. Virgos are getting ready. It's our month coming up. And I always tend to think when it's my birthday coming up, there's New Year's, and sometimes people think about like New Year, new me. How did the year go? But also, at least for me, my birthday time is also, it's like another year of my lifetime. And so I like to kind of think about, where am I at in my life? And especially as each year gets higher and higher, as I get older and older, it becomes more and more important and more urgent because the older you get, the less time you have to reach your goals. And so I start thinking, like, where am I in my life? Am I reaching my life goals? So I start kind of thinking about those things. And I thought that, hey, let's talk about it, because a lot of times you may have goals in your life, targets, but really, do you have life goals for your entire life? So anyways, we're going to talk about it. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's important to. A lot of this stuff is not new. Having goals by itself is not new in different areas, but a lot of times people don't know you can design your life. Years ago, I heard a guy say that he was giving a speech, and he's like, "You can design your life." And I thought, man, nobody's ever said that to me before, where you can actually be the person who orchestrates, just so you can design something. You can design anything. You can design a home. You can design a room. So you can design a life. You can design what you want your life to look like, how you want it to be, what you want to have in your overall life, what you want your body to look like, what you want your relationships to look like, where do you want to stay when you travel, how do you want to travel. All of these are things that you can look at and you can design and you can make a plan for it, and then you can work actively to make those things real. But then you have to just kind of look at the different areas. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, there was an event that I went to, and there was an exercise that we did, and you kind of they had us rate our life in different areas. And at that time, I don't know, in my early 30s, or maybe I wasn't even 30 yet. And at that time, almost every single area of my life, I rated like a 1 or a 0 at like where I was compared to where I wanted to be. And that really hit me. And I kind of had like an early life crisis because I thought, oh my God, I really thought, I guess maybe I was 30, because I thought by the time that I was 30 that my life was going to be figured out. Like William said that the other day, that like, oh, by the time I'm 25, like that's when you have life figured out, and that's when you like live your life.
That's our 17-year-old son.
Yeah. And so I thought, oh my God, I thought I was going to have my life figured out. And I thought you get to this point and you just have it figured out and you live your life. No, it's this constant journey and this constant growing and correcting and expanding. And so it really started this journey for me of being able to like regularly check in of where I am and really like what are the areas in my life that are very important. And so I invite you guys, if you have life goals, if you have things that you're working towards, I invite you to kind of take this chance. It's also coming up on where over half of the year is done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also a good time to kind of check in and see, where am I at with my goals for this year? Am I on track to hit them? Did I exceed them? Am I falling short? And so it's just kind of like a little check-in here. And so there's two things specifically that I look at when I'm kind of like seeing, am I on track for my life goals? And the first one is, do you know your purpose in life? For me, I do know my purpose in life. And so it's like, hey, how am I doing? Am I reaching my purpose in life? And if you don't know what that is, we all have gifts and talents to share with the world and people in our life and our community. And sometimes people don't know what that is, but you do have a purpose. And to kind of figure out what that is like looking through your life of what is it that like really fires you up? Like in your life, when are the times that you felt the most alive and the most successful and the most accomplished? Or like, so for me, my purpose is helping others reach their potential through my example. Like I want to know what I am capable of. I want to know what my potential is. And so I want to be the example and show how to reach your potential and like kind of be the example for others to do the same thing. And so for everyone, it's different. Something that it really like lights you up inside that you want to be able to do in your life. And it's like more than just, hey, I want to make a certain amount of money or I want to accomplish, this certain thing in life. It's like your overall mission in your life, just like businesses have a mission and a vision. So it's about finding out what is your mission in life? What is your purpose in life? And then I kind of align it to all these different pieces to kind of check in and see how I'm doing.
Yeah, and look, sometimes I believe your purpose has been known to you since you were a child. What happens is in life, when you're a kid, there's things you do naturally that you like or you find out you're curious about, and then you start to become a teenager, a young adult, and then you start to go into the quote unquote real world, and then a lot of times your dreams get stomped on. So for example, I've always been very curious. I've always been very interested in money and finances. And the reason for that is because I've always been interested in like the human condition. I grew up in a poor African country, and I just was always wondering why so many people poor? Like why so many people around poor? Why do they live like this? And my very first lesson on money was money's important to people, but most of these people don't seem to have it. Yet it seems very important to them. And so I was interested in how do they survive better if they don't have money? Because that's the tool in which you can exchange for the things that you want. Money is just a tool. Money itself is not the end all. It's just a tool that you use. So if you don't have this tool and it helps you survive better, how then can you survive better? You got to figure out how to get this tool. And so that was always my thing since I was a kid, thinking about this. And for a long time, that was always very interesting to me. And I was always wanted to help. It's always my thing. I've always wanted to be able to help. And I've realized, oh, well, I can fulfill my purpose through helping people understand this area. And so you've got to look in your life, because I was always very curious about things. I was the kid who would, when I had toys, I would take my toys apart and I would like look to see how does it work. I was always curious about how things worked. And if you look back to when you were a kid or throughout your life, things you've been excited about, before the adults stomped out your dreams, before dream killers told you something couldn't be done or you can't do it, whatever, or before reality hit you, what were you dreaming about in your life? And then figuring out, doesn't mean you have to do that for work. It just means that could be something you make a tremendous amount of money and you go do that for fun. Not everything not the thing that fulfills you may not be the thing that you're able to monetize to do well. Like some people just love to paint, but they're not going to go be a full-time artist. The person may be an accountant, but they love to paint on the weekends or play in a rock band. And that's their thing that makes them super happy, but it may not go be a rock star. So you got to look back at that thing and then seeing how you can position and design your life so that you can do more of the things you actually really want to do.
And you can also look at how you can incorporate your purpose into everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of leads into the second thing that I do when I'm checking in on my life goals and where I'm at is, you can ask yourself, how are you doing in the important areas of your life? And so there are a few key areas that I look at, and I look to see, like, comparing to my purpose and what's important to me and what I want to do with my life, how am I fitting that into these important things? And am I being and doing and having the things that I want in each of these areas? So I'll share with you what these areas are, and then I'll share just like a few examples of some of the things that are important to me and some of my goals. And you can share some of yours if you want to. So the first one is lifestyle. So this is like where you live, what kind of home you live in. Do you want to travel? What kind of experiences do you want to have? What do you want your daily life to be? What kind of things do you want to be able to afford? So for me, I love tropical islands, and I want to travel to tropical islands all over the world. And so we have traveled to tropical islands. We haven't traveled to all the tropical islands, but and then
we've traveled to a few of them.
Yeah, we've traveled to a few of them. And so then we look at, okay, what are some ways that we can travel to more tropical islands? One of the things that I want to do is have like retreats, have events on tropical islands where maybe we have like a couples event or a business event, and we go to a tropical island and other people come there. And it's a way that we can also use it as a business, have it be a write-off, and be helping other people to improve their life and their business and their finances. And then as far as like our home, I have in mind what the ideal dream home is and location and all of that. So it's important to think about the things that you want in life as specific as you can get, because there's been times in life before where, I've been looking for a house. I remember the very first time that I moved out on my own, and I was looking at different places. I had a very small budget, and my mom was looking with me, and she's like, you kind of got to take what you can get. I kept looking, and it was like not in the areas and not the places that I was wanting. And I'm like, no, this just isn't. It's not it. And she's like, well, you got to kind of like take what you can get, and and stay within your budget, and this is what you can afford. And I was like, no, I'm going to find the place. And sure enough, I found the exact perfect place within my budget, because I just that was my intention. And same thing with a car. At one time, I remember, same thing. I was with my mom and I had a specific budget, and I had to get a car for a certain amount. And they were showing me these different cars, and I was like, no, I don't want this. I want this, this, and this. And my mom was like, well, I don't think for that budget, that you can, afford all of that. And sure enough, found the perfect car with all of the things. And there's been several times like that with different houses and different things where it seemed like maybe I wasn't going to be able to get what I wanted, but I just kept that intention. And I'm like, I'm going to find, and I kept picturing. There's one time I found a house that had the exact wall colors and flooring that I was picturing. And it was like different colors in each room. So it wasn't just like one color. No, it was very specific. And I found the exact place that I was envisioning. Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah. So sometimes you put that picture out in the world, and then you attract it. And this is not like just law of attraction and all this. You understand that she was actually doing action. So a lot of times people think, oh, just law of attraction. You think about it and it's going to materialize. Look, you can sit on your couch all day and just think about stuff, and it's not going to rain money down your chimney. So you got to do stuff. So you got to the ideal lifestyle that you want. Once you got that like nailed down, this is what I want to live like. This is how I want to travel. These are the things I want to do. Then there's the doingness. The okay, what are you going to do now? What's the work you're going to put in? So you can't get to like having without doing. So there's got to be some activity you put in on this planet. You got to go and do some activity to get the results that you're looking for.
Yeah. So another area that I look at is family. And this is a big one because we have our family in our home with our son, William. And now that he's a teenager, he's going to be 18 next year. Making one of the things that's really important is having good communication and a good relationship and supporting him, but also helping him to become an independent adult who also contributes, and making sure that we have, fun experiences together, and that we're giving him the tools that he needs to be successful in life. And then also, our extended family and our parents, we want to be able to help a lot of our family. And one of the things we want to be able to retire our parents. Martin's mom is retired now, but my parents aren't yet. And so being able to help and support our family, and also having the time and resources to be able to spend with family and friends. So those are some of the important things for me, because especially as building a business, especially in the earlier years, it was like we ate, breathed, slept, everything was our business. And so especially when William was younger, we had to make time to be able to spend with William and, have family time. We've also incorporated him in a lot of things in our business. It's something I've done since he was very, very young. A lot of times when you have very young children and they want your attention, they always want your attention, but you also have to get things done. So very young, I started including him in what I was doing. Like if I was making him food and he's like trying to get my attention as a little toddler, I put him on the table and I had him help me make oatmeal. And now he's a very independent, he makes all of his own food. And when we were working on our business and he wanted our attention, we started teaching him different tools and concepts that we teach our clients in our business. Martin started teaching him very complex financial strategies, but in a way that he could understand. And that also helped making, teaching people about money easier and simpler, because he started showing William. And so we've just always incorporated him in what we've done, which helps him to become more of an independent person as well.
Yeah, and in our book, there's a chapter in this book about, I wrote specifically from a dad's point of view. We have one called "What Will Your Legacy Be?" That's a chapter in our book. Let's Fight About Money, but talk about what will your legacy be, and it talks also about father's perspective on some of these things. How to think about and look at some of this stuff, because the reality is, these days, as a man, no matter what race you are, where you live, as a man, if you have a family, you have children, whether you have a significant other, whether you and the other parents together, however it is, right? There's a song, and I don't know who sings the song. There's a song, "To Be a Man Is Not Easy." Those are the lyrics of the song. Now, of course, women give birth and nurture the children and carry the baby and all these different things. But ultimately, there's this thread or this narrative with men that you have to have a certain persona, or to be a man, you have to be tough and strong and all these things. And that's extremely important. You do have to be tough. You do have to be mentally tough, physically tough. You have to be strong. But at the same time, a lot of times men don't have an outlet in which they can express the things that they're feeling, or how they're dealing with stuff, or navigating things they need to do with families. And so if you're a parent and if you're a dad, and taking care of one, then you got to take care of your family. And number two, you got to teach them important lessons in life that they can then carry with them. So it's very important that you take the time to educate your kids to the degree that you can, the best way that you can for where you are, and showing through your example. Our son likes going to the gym, working out, and Chelsea and I would go to the gym, and then he would start coming to the gym, and he started going to the gym very regularly and works out and all these different things. So if you're not doing the things that you want your children to do, it's very hard for you to be an example for them. If you're eating garbage, if you're not working out, not exercising, and you don't have to be lifting weights at the gym every day, just going for a walk, doing these things, your children pay attention to you, even when it seems like they're not. They're watching you, they study you, they know what the hell you're talking about, all of that. So you have to make sure you can be the best example that you can for them. And some of it involves making sure you're productive. You're productive in life. You are doing something. You're growing, and that because they're growing. So a lot of times your kids might end up thinking they're smarter than you because they don't know that you've been through the phases of life that they have. But some of the biggest things you can teach your children when it comes to in your ideal life is having the best example that you can be, and that's doing some of the things for yourself, getting into the right physical condition that you want to get into, working to produce successfully, and doing those kinds of things shows them as through your example. That you don't have to say so much because they can look at your actions.
Yeah, so those are some of the other areas that I look at as well when kind of looking and assessing my life goals and where I'm at on target, or if I need to adjust anything that I'm doing. So another area is business and or career. So there's all different kinds of businesses, all different kinds of careers, and you may be loving where you're at, and you may not. But there's all kinds of jobs and businesses that don't seem like, we have a client who has a porta potty business. Now, I don't know if he grew up when he was a kid thinking that that's the type of business that he wants, but he's built a very successful business, and it provides a very important service, and it provides jobs for many people. And it really comes down to the environment, that the work environment, are people being fulfilled in their position? Do they like the people that they work with? Do they like the people they work for? So it doesn't really matter so much what the actual business or job is, as long as it's legal, ethical, fits with your morals, and it provides a service to help others. You can absolutely incorporate your mission, your passions, your life goals into what you're doing, because it really comes down to who you're being and the impact that you're making with the people around you. And are you growing and expanding yourself in what you're doing? And so I think a lot of people get caught up in, get out of the 9 to 5. You need to have a business, or I hate working for someone, or, employees versus employers. It comes down to the environment. You can be successful no matter where you're at if there is opportunity for growth, and if you are doing what you need to do to grow and expand yourself.
Yeah. So look, the whole thing is your career path. You may try different things. You may do different things. And ultimately, I know a lot of employees who make more money than the business owners. So than business owners. That's just a reality. A lot of business owners have created, they're self-employed, so which means they created a job for themselves. Then when you go to hire employees, that's a whole different level. Then the size of your business, that's a whole different level, right? So there's a lot of people who work as employees, and they have freedom in the business. They may run a team. They have autonomy to do some of the different things they want to do to contribute to the success of the overall company. And they're very successful in that field. So not everybody needs to be a business owner. And so, like, for example, we own a business, but we still are in the office 9 to 5, and sometimes later, and sometimes I may do things at different time. Sure, I don't have to there's certain freedoms I have But at the same time, there's tremendous responsibilities we have because we have staff who work here. We have a team. All of these, all they're looking and they're contributing to the overall success of the company, but they're also looking at us as chief executives of the company to make sure that we do the right things and make the right decisions, and also hire the right kinds of other people to come in the environment, because you don't want to hire the wrong people and you end up having a negative environment, and then getting rid of the people who should not be there. Maybe those people will flourish in somewhere else, but we want to make sure you have the right people there, right people in the right environment. Chelsea's mentioning, very important when it comes to the kind of career path you choose. And also, look, let's be real, you need to make money. Back in the day, there were hunters and gatherers. The men generally hunted. They went out and they hunted the animals. The women gathered the berries and all this stuff. Sure, we've built cities, we've built cars, we've built airplanes, but on the base of all of this in human nature, there's hunters and gatherers. Okay, you still got to hunt. Your hunting might be different. You don't have to go and hunt and kill an animal these days, but you're going to hunt in the marketplace. The skill sets that you need have changed. You might need soft skills, communication skills, whereas before you needed hunting skills. You needed to be able to track and be able to capture the animal and bring the food back home. Okay, so you could feed the rest of the people who were gathering and making sure the village was taken care of. The same thing is happening today, just in a different context. So whatever it is you choose to do with your career, you have to make money. And if you've seen the cost of goods and things, cost of goods and services have been going up. So you need a lot of money. That's just the reality of how things are here.
So I'm not going to go through in detail the rest of the list, but I will mention the other areas that I look at when I kind of, do an assessment of my life goals. So some of the other areas is cash flow. Am I where I want to be with cash flow in our business and our household? Also health and fitness. Martin mentioned that a little bit, talking about, being an example for our son. Am I at the health and fitness level that I want to be at? Not what other people think I should be at, or not what anything else, but where do I want to be at and how close am I? And what are the things I need to do to get there? Also, spiritual and personal growth, whatever that means for you. Is it being involved with your church? Is it whatever your relationship is with God? Is it getting more involved in the community? Is it looking at the person that you are? How are your ethics? How are your morals? Are you being a good example? Just like Martin was talking about for our son and for people around you. If you're a business owner, are you a good example for your team? So just kind of looking in at what that means for you and where you're at and where you want to be, as well as giving an impact. Like, what do you want to be able to give? What do you want to be able to contribute? Like one thing that is important to me is March of Dimes, because William was born 3 months early, and they provide resources for premature babies, the families, and those kind of things. Also, we contribute to an organization called Drug Free World, and that helps to educate people and kids about not just don't do drugs, but actually what they do to you, so that you can make an informed decision for yourself. There's a lot of things in life that I was just told don't do, but not why. So what did I do? I went and did them. But if I knew the impact that they had on me, then maybe I would have a different decision. So things like that, thinking about, what do you want to contribute? Are there organizations that you want to donate to? And then also, what kind of impact do you want to make overall in your life, in your family's life, your community, and beyond? And so with all of these things, just kind of looking at doing a check-in of where I am with my life goals, what I need to adjust, what I need to stop doing or do more of. One of the things that we help our clients with is doing a check-in on their finances, on their financial house. And so there's a service that we have, a financial strategy plan, and it's a complete report and we go through the 6 building blocks that make up your financial house and really help you identify exactly where you are in each one of these building blocks.
Mhm.
And then help you identify what are your goals? What are the things you want to do in life? What's important to you? And how can you actually accomplish those from where you are now to where you want to be? And then like, what are the exact steps that you need to take to get there? So we have a financial strategy plan report. It's a service that we provide. And if you are interested in taking advantage of that service, you can go to 6buildingblocks.com/plan, 6buildingblocks.com/plan. And it will give a little bit more information about exactly what's included and how you can sign up. And we'll go through with you very detailed of exactly how to reach your goals.
Awesome. So we're back here. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where we talk about personal development, financial development. If you want to learn more about how to have an overall life plan, how your finances can support your plan, go to 6buildingblocks.com/plan. Oh, I got to drink something.
Plan.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have an excellent weekend. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to reach